Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to ring the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today is going to be a quick little get ready with me using absolutely nothing new, kind of a shop your stash edition. I have done really good at rotating all my products. I've been using them a lot, especially if there's new products. I use them 3, 4, 5 times in a row just to get a feel of them, move them back into my collection, pull something new out. But there were a few products that I noticed I haven't been using for a while. Nothing of this is new. All of this has been out for quite some time, but I've been getting this itch to buy new makeup. I decided when I'm feeling that way, I'm going to go into my collection, pull out products that I haven't used in a while and like re-fall in love with them or just get new excitement from those products. So a lot of these products are things that I've absolutely loved. I do go through everything I've pulled out into my shop, my stash, and then I do show you what I used to achieve this makeup look today. I love how this looks. It's flawless. It absolutely looks beautiful up close. I really love how this turned out. If you like to see the products that are in my shop, my stash, the ones that I'm trying to either finish up or really just play with again, go ahead and keep watching and let's get her done. On a lip plumper. This is the Beauty Bio. I did have a friend give this to me. She said she didn't like it very much. It's called the Pout Volumizing Lip Serum in Sparkling Rosé. I'm going to go ahead and apply. It has a really nice little metal tip. So I'm just going to apply a little bit just to kind of prep my lips for once I'm done in any lip products I'm going to put on. It does have that cinnamon plumping smell. I hope I don't regret that because I am drinking coffee. I might have put a little bit too much on. It's kind of a little stringy. Yeah, I definitely put too much on, so I'm going to wipe some of it off because it's quite thick feeling. Next, I'm going to hop into eyes. I did grab out all of my single Colourpop Super Shock shadows. I haven't used these in a little while. It's embarrassing enough. I did swatch all of them yesterday, and they're so beautiful. So I have Telepathy, which is just this gorgeous kind of chartreuse color, and then I have Nillianaire, which is such a beautiful darkened bronze with a bunch of really gorgeous glitter. Mycelium, this is such a beautiful one, so this is really pretty, has gorgeous glitter. It's kind of a champagne peach color. Get Lucky is one of the most beautiful golds. So there's that. Sailor is a beautiful kind of sheer, but it has a reflective blue kind of glitter going through it. So that one is Sailor. And then I brought out one of NYX's single shadows in Bedroom Eyes. It is this most gorgeous metallic dark brown. There are swatches of all those eyeshadows. So here is the NYX Bedroom Eyes. This is Sailor. This is Mycelium. This is Get Lucky. This one right here is the Nillianaire, and that is Telepathy. Such beautiful colors. I think I'm going to go with these, the Get Lucky, the Mycelium, and the Sailor. And I'm going to do just kind of an all-over glitter, kind of a more sheer light eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this because I do want to do swatches of everything just to kind of show you. So I'm going to speed this up. I will zoom you in just a little bit, and I'm just going to do all of this, speed it up, and then I'm going to throw in probably a little bit of bronzer into the crease. That's kind of what I've been going for, is a bronzer in the crease, glitter on the lid, and then kind of just a light wash of color. In it with a little bit of a tiny wing liner. I'm going to use the Doll Beauty. This is the Push Poppin' liner. This is a brown eyeliner. I haven't used this a whole lot since I first received it, so I'm going to go ahead and throw on to the tiniest liner. I'm going to fast forward through this as well. are done, I did throw on some mascara. I used my Maybelline, the Falsie Lash Lift, my most favorite mascara. I didn't want to use anything else just because I really like that mascara. Next, I'm going to go into primer. So I do have 2 primers I pulled out. I am still trying to finish up the Touch and Soul No Problem Priming Essence. I like this a lot. It's very hydrating. It doesn't really do much of anything else, but I do like it. I've been trying to use this up for a long time. I just feel like there's so much product in here. It has more than a fluid ounce, but I've been trying to use up. I do really like it. And then the other one is the Farsali Liquid Glass. This is a very luminizing, very sticky primer. I do like it. I just think I have better ones in my collection. I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of both. I want a tiny bit of luminosity, so I'm going to put it on my forehead and then kind of just where I would luminize anyways, because it does have almost like a Tin Man kind of finish to it. I'll kind of blend this in. I know these were like all the rage years ago. I got it in a BoxyCharm and I've just been using it for a while. I do like this primer. I've had it for so long. I'm trying to use it up as well. It is nice. Once you rub it in, it gets really sticky. But it's just one of those that kind of got pushed to the bottom of my primer drawer that I just haven't used a lot. So I wanted to go ahead and pull it out and really concentrate on finishing it up this month. So there is that. You can see it gives you that really glass-like finish, which I do love. And then I'm going to add just a tiny bit of the Touch and Soul, just kind of on my cheeks where I need maybe a little bit more hydration. And this is just so silky and smooth and just super hydrating. You can see all of that. It just feels nice. The Farsali one does not feel hydrating at all, but this one feels super hydrating. So my goal for this next month is to use both of those ones up. Next, I am going to do a tiny bit of color corrector under my eyes. I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in Peach Corrector, and I'm just going to apply just a tiny bit on my dark circles. And a little bit, I have these dark spots right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. This is with a Luxie 250 large eye blender. I love a really nice fluffy brush to blend anything under the eyes out. Either that or a sponge. You can see how that just really did correct the darkness there. And then I just blend it out here. I can use less concealer under my eyes because I have that darkness pretty much erased. I really do like this corrector a lot. And then the 2 foundations that I pulled into my Shop My Stash, I have my L'Oreal Infallible. I love this foundation a lot. I just haven't gotten a ton of use out of it because I do have a bunch of newer foundations that I've been using. This is in the color 445. It is definitely my summer shade. I might have to add just a tiny bit of neutralizer to that. The other one is the Profusion. This is the Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector, and this is in Light 3. Also just a tiny bit too light for me right now. I didn't love this one right off the bat, but I've definitely found some ways to make it work better for me. I think I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible. It has just been so long since I've worn this one, and it's one of my absolute favorites, so I really wanted to play with that today. So I'm going to squeeze it onto the back of my hand. I'm going to do a very thin layer because it is right now 8:15 in the morning, so I don't want full coverage foundation. So there is the 445. Like, as you can tell, it's a little bit dark, so I'm going to pull into my LA Girl Mixing Pigments. I'm going to put in a tiny bit of the white because I think the tone is right. I think it just needs to be lighter than it is. And then I just use it on the back of my hand and blend it with any type of brush that's right near me. There it is now. That actually matches pretty perfectly to my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply a very thin layer. I'm going to use a sponge because I don't want it super heavy, and just apply that all over my face. Still love this foundation as much as I've always loved it. It's just such a great medium to full, easily buildable. Doesn't look heavy or cakey on the face. It looks really skin-like for as much coverage as I get. It just looks gorgeous on the skin. It is a great summer special event foundation. I just love it. I'm going to be doing makeup for a wedding coming up here soon, and I might end up using this foundation on the bride just because it works so well. It's so long lasting, and it really just looks beautiful with everything else on top of it. There is the foundation. Next, concealer. So the concealers I brought out, I only brought out 3. So I brought out all 3 of my Tarte. So I have my Tarte, the original Shape Tape. I have Tarte, the hydrating Shape Tape. And then I did grab my Glow Wand. And I have the Glow Wand in Alight. And then I have the original and the hydrating in 22 Light Neutral. So I'm going to go in with the original Shape Tape. I haven't used this for so long. I'm going to dip in with this one because it works a lot better during the summer. I'm going to apply just the tiniest amount right there, and maybe I will do the hydrating kind of on my nose and just keep the original to under my eyes. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw in some Alight in with the original Shape Tape. I like that because it does give you the full coverage of the original Shape Tape, but does add just a little bit of glow. The hydrating Shape Tape isn't quite as full coverage as the original one. And then I'm just going to tap that out. I love adding that glow on into it. Gives you the full coverage, but also gives you a beautiful luminous finish. I really love visiting older products that I know I've loved for a long time, maybe got pushed to the back of my drawers, but I just love revisiting them. It reminds me of all the products in my collection that still work and that I don't need to be buying new makeup all the time. I like doing this, especially when I'm feeling the urge to buy new makeup. It really satisfies that feeling of wanting new products, but just grabbing out the products that I already know I love and that are in my collection. That lip plumper definitely did plump up my lips. It's feeling really nice. It is very hydrating, so I do like how it feels. Some lip plumpers can definitely leave kind of residue on your lips. This one hasn't. I only brought one cream bronzer in. This is the Nude Sticks Nudie All Over Face Color in Bondi Babe. This isn't my favorite formula, but I do want to use it up. I'm pretty close to using it up. I've used quite a lot of it. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this. I'm going to just use a little dual fiber brush. This is the Lexi 516 dual fiber powder. And then I'm just going to tap that right here where I normally bronze and just blend that out. A little bit on my nose, temples, my cheekbones, and then I always get a little bit on my neck and my jawline just to bring it all together. This does look really pretty. There's nothing wrong with this formula, it's just not one that really stands out in my collection. I did bring in 2 cream blushes to my collection. So this is the Tower 28. I love their formula so much. But this is the color Golden Hour. It is an orange cream blush. I don't use oranges all that often on my face. This is such a beautiful formula, but this color in specific I just don't use all that often, so I wanted to pull it in. The other one is the Fenty Cream Blush in Strawberry Dip. This one is a absolute gorgeous, super bright, vivid poppy. Definitely a blush I would gravitate for. I just am not in love with this formula. It's definitely a lot drier than most of my other cream blushes. I'm going to go in with this one today because I think it's going to kind of match my shirt a little bit better. I'm just going to use a dual fiber brush. This is the e.l.f. Small Stippling Brush. It is quite dry, so I just really swirl it in there and then just tap it onto my cheeks. And kind of buff that in a little bit. It's a lot more matte than most of my cream blushes. I definitely prefer something a lot more luminous. It's a pretty color though, so I will absolutely be using it up, but I just wanted to pull in here because I know it doesn't get a ton of use just because it's not my favorite formula. And then I apply a little bit to my nose. And the cream highlighter I pulled in, this is the Becca Glow Glaze Stick. This is no longer available. I still really love this. I just apply a little bit. It is quite a sticky, transparent kind of glaze for your face. So I just like to apply it with my finger, and it just gives you that most beautiful, transparent glow. Really like this one. I do think I'll probably declutter this one because I do have one from Merit that is practically the same. And it is still available, but Becca no longer exists as a brand, so I probably will end up decluttering this one just because I can't use it a whole lot in video. Next, a little bit of powder. So I'm going to hop in with my Kosas just because I can't do my makeup without this powder. I'm going to tap in my creases and just apply just the smallest amount right here. I do want to make sure I don't get any powder on top of the highlighting glaze because it does kind of cling onto powder. Kind of weird. Those glazes are really great for no makeup days or kind of light makeup, unless you don't use a lot of powder, which I don't normally use a lot of powder, so I can pretty much use it on any day. But if you do normally use a lot more powder than I am, I would highly suggest saving those for like a no makeup day. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening Palette. I need to use this every time. It's just the best powder. So I'm going to apply that, and I do have some finishing powders I'm going to be using. This is a lot more makeup than I was trying to get on a Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., but oh well. I did bring in a few face palettes. I haven't gotten a ton of use out of my face palettes recently, so I did grab the Becca, Chloe, and Malika palette. This is a really nice one. I don't know if I'll keep this in my collection for too much longer just because it is unavailable. I do really like this blush, but the bronzer is pretty sheer. And then the other blush is really more of a blush topper. The highlighter is pretty, but pretty much the only thing I really enjoy out of this palette is this blush right here. Very luminous, beautiful. I do like this blush the most. These two are very luminous and the bronzer is matte, but it's pretty sheer. The other one is the Tarte Pro Glow. I also got this in a BoxyCharm. This has some really beautiful cool tone blushes, some nice highlighters and bronzers, one matte, one luminous. I'll go ahead and do some swatches. I haven't used this a whole lot. It's kind of dark on me, and the bronzer is kind of a more strange tone. I've had it for quite some time. So there are all of the swatches, the two bronzers, the highlighters are beautiful, and the matte blushes. I do like this palette. I like to take it a lot when I go traveling just because it does have the bronzers, blushes, and highlights. It's also very thin, so I like that. I just haven't used it a whole lot. And my other one is my Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4. Love this. Did get this as a holiday special. Has blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and also a finishing powder. I'm going to use some of that finishing powder today. I'm just going to swirl into the middle finishing powder and just apply a little bit to the middle of my forehead, a little on my nose, kind of on the sides of my cheeks. I don't use this a whole lot just because it's kind of an extra step and I don't normally like a ton of extra powders. Use some of that. The blushes do not swatch very well. They're very, very, very fair. And the bronzer, this is a really good winter kind of palette just because everything is pretty fair. I do like the highlighter. There's one highlighter that is a little bit more extreme, which is that one. I'll go and swatch it. It is pretty. I normally use this palette a little bit more during the winter, and now swatching them again, I think I'll probably put this one back into my collection, except for maybe the finishing powder, just because it does leave kind of a pretty luminous glow all over the skin. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Becca and Malika, just because this is kind of on the chopping block. I might end up decluttering it, so I want to get some more use out of it. I'm going to go in with the bronzer and just apply a little bit on my forehead, sides of my cheeks. I'm going to go on this blush right here that's a little bit darker and apply that onto the backs of my cheeks. That is really pretty. For powder highlight, I do have this highlight I could use, which that's pretty. But I do also have my Artist Couture. This is in Illuminati. It's one of the loose highlighters. I have not used a loose highlighter in so long, so I did want to pull this one out. I think I've decluttered pretty much all the other ones in my collection. They're kind of difficult to use. I don't get tons of use out of them. This one is really pretty, but it does have kind of more chunky glitter in it, which I'm not a huge fan of. There is the Becca one. There is the Illuminati from Artist Couture. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Illuminati one from Artist Couture, so I'm going to go ahead and spray my face down. And then I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to tap in. Actually, I'll probably just tap into the lid to not get too much. And just kind of apply it, like dab it and sway it, because I don't want to get too much of this because it is pretty intense. It's really beautiful though. Next is lip products. I'm going to go ahead and take off the rest of the lip plumper. I do have two lip liners that I just haven't been using a ton. The first one is the Bite Beauty. This is in 036. I don't see a color. So there is that one. It's a nice kind of darker mauve. And then the other one is the Dominique Cosmetics Crush. I really do like this one. There is the Dominique Cosmetics one. They look almost identical. The Bite Beauty might be a tiny bit more warm. Why don't I use these more often? They're so pretty. I like both of them. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with, let's go in with the Bite Beauty just because it's a little bit lighter, and line my lips. And then I brought in 4 lippy products. So the first one is a L'Oreal lipstick. This is in 175. I Pink You're Cute. This is such a bright, vivid lipstick. The few times I've used it, I haven't loved it. It kind of went on a little patchy and then it didn't wear very nice. But it's a gorgeous color. Really love the color of it. So I want to get a tiny bit more use out of it just to see if I'm going to be able to make the formula work. The other one is the Rare Beauty Lip Balm. I have had some issues with this one. This is also very bright and beautiful. It looks a lot like the L'Oreal lipstick, but it's more of a balm formula. Those colors are actually almost identical, just a different formula, and the Rare Beauty one is just a tad bit warmer, and then the L'Oreal is a tiny bit cooler. This balm is so pretty, but it just balls up and doesn't look great on the lips, so I do want to continue trying to use that. The next one is a Fenty Beauty. This is a cream, or this is a gloss balm cream in Fenty Glow. I love Fenty Glow, the gloss balm. The cream I haven't really used a whole lot. It's definitely more pigmented, but the same color as the Universal Gloss Balm. And then I have the Merit. This is the Tinted Lip Oil. I love their Tinted Lip Oils, and this is Pink Beet. I haven't used this one a ton either, but it's a really nice, very hydrating lip oil. It's a tad bit darker. It's right there. It's a bit more warm than what I've been going for recently. I've been loving cool tone pinks, and this one is just a tad bit more on the warm side, so I haven't got a ton of use out of it. I think I'm going to apply a couple. I think I'm going to go and apply the Rare Beauty Lip Balm and wear that for just a few minutes just to see maybe if I did it a little bit lighter. So just tap it on and blend it out. That's really, really pretty. I do like how that looks. And maybe it'll wear better if I do it a little bit more gently. Normally with lip balms, I'm just like applying it like that. But if I apply just a thinner layer, that looks really pretty. And I can't imagine it balling up because there's not a bunch of product on my lips. So that is super pretty. So I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm going to go ahead and apply the Merit Lip Oil. And I'm also going to do a very thin layer. That is so hydrating. That feels so good. That's like a perfect summer lip product because it's super hydrating. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey, and I do really like the color. It's just a little bit more warm than what I've been going for. I think I'm going to go ahead and wear this Merit Lip Oil today because it does feel so comfortable, and I really like the feeling on my lips. I am going to do an inner corner highlight. I'm going to go into the Hourglass palette and this one right here, which is just a bit more intense and glittery of a highlight. I'm just going to apply a little bit of that to my inner corner just to brighten that up. I love an inner corner. It always finishes out the look for me. Alright, so there is the finished look. I loved doing this. It has reignited my excitement for some of the products in my collection. None of this is new. This has all been in my collection for at least 6 months, if not longer. I absolutely love that because when I get that itch to buy new makeup, I really love going back into my collection and realizing like all the products that are absolutely gorgeous in my collection. This is absolutely stunning. Up close, it looks fantastic. There is no weirdness. There's really nothing in here that I didn't absolutely love using, which also is exciting for me because it's letting me know that I am going through my collection and I am making sure the products in my collection are products I really, really love. I'm doing declutters pretty regularly. And I did do a massive collection and declutter, so if you'd like to see any of those videos, I will have those linked down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know the products weren't new and exciting, but still I hope you can get some enjoyment of watching products that we probably already have in our collection that you absolutely love. I highly suggest going into your collection, pulling out products you haven't used for a while and re-falling in love with them. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will just catch you on the next one. Bye guys!